If people don't think intersectionality exists, they should go for an Out for Undergrad conference, because the sheer number of white cis men. I remember telling one of my friends, one of the few women at the conference, I feel like this is worse than like a non-queer conference, just because there seems to be less queer women interested in fields like banking or consulting versus straight women. I think there's been a lot of work in the past few years to really even out at least the people who are interested in it, and like in those initial undergraduate college conferences, it's so visible in that room, right? Of 200 people, 80% essentially look like Wall Street already. The only difference is that they just happen to be gay.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with the lack of representation in the industry if it is because people opt out as opposed to they couldn't get in.
Right.
I guess there will be a portion of people who don't think they can succeed because they don't see that many role models there.
Yeah.
But
they should see you.
I've been there, right? So my perspective is a bit different, where I'm like, it's not that glamorous after all. Yeah. If you do make a lot of money, but you also work a lot of hours, so your per hour salary is actually pretty low. Like, why would you do that? Yeah. Right? And so I think the industry itself doesn't help. And when you have more points of marginalization or underrepresentedness, the effect just gets worse. If you're straight and you're a cis woman, your 1 point is probably just like being a cis woman, right? And assuming you're white. If you think about queer women, that's like 2 points. Yeah. And then TBD, if it's queer women of color, it's 3. But like, that's just not a very nice environment to be in, to be honest. And I've been there, and the only reason why I survived, I think, is because I'm masculine. I get masculine privilege, and I can kind of blow it out with people because I play sports and I like to play, I guess, boyish games, like some computer games, stuff like that. So I can kind of talk some stuff to the guys. If I want to recommend somebody who's not particularly interested in this field to be like, hey, go do investment banking, like it's gonna be awesome, because it's really not. So fine, if queer women don't want to do that, like that's also okay.
Why do queer people need a separate diversity and inclusion fair? Especially since the jobs that we were recruiting for, investment banking, consulting, software engineering, I mean, these are very technical skills.
There are a lot of qualified people. There will always be a lot more qualified people than the number of positions available. And so to carve out a path for people who would otherwise, I guess, very likely to get forgotten or passed over because of other people's unconscious bias is, I think, very necessary. I don't think I would have gotten my interview, really, if I didn't have a specific program that then put me in front of people. Because at the end of the day, all you need is to be put in front of the people. After that, that's all you, right? But I don't know if I would be able to be put in front of people if I didn't have a specific program that at Barclays, I can't remember what it's called now, but they had it for women and queer people, and I think vets. Yeah, so it's just an interview process. They just put you there. That's it.
I think that's really interesting because you've essentially turned my question on its head, where you're saying, actually, yeah, at the end of the day, these jobs are technical, but these technical skills are not hard. They can be taught, but also a lot of people have it, a lot more than the spots available. But who tends to get these prestigious jobs in the traditional industries of tech, finance, consulting? It's people who already have networks. And there isn't a dedicated network for people who are underprivileged, whether that means that they're queer, they're women, they're people of color. And so that's where conferences like these can really be powerful, because you're essentially just, like you said, putting them in front of the right people. It's like, well, the thing is, privileged people have had affirmative action their whole lives. You know?
Yeah, it's called their hockey clubs.
Always been put in front of the right people at the right time. Why don't we even that playing field by also having networks that can then put these very qualified queer people in front of the right people?